Hello friends, in today's video we're going to be changing the CV joint on this Ford Transit van. This particular model is 2016, and the reason why we are changing the CV joint is due to knocking noise coming from right hand side front wheel. So just gonna crack on with it. Right, so here we go. We've taken the wheel off. So the first thing we're gonna do is to remove the drive shaft main nut, which is securing the hub to the drive shaft. So just gonna remove this quarter pin first. There we go, that's the quarter pin removed. Just gonna pull out this dust cap. So it's a 36mm nut which we need to remove. So just gonna use a breaker bar to slacken it off. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lock the hub from spinning. So I've just put this flathead screwdriver. There we go. There we go. That's the nut being removed from the hub. So just gonna put it back for time being. Right friends, here we are. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna remove this 24mm lower ball joint nut. And while we are here, we're just gonna show you the condition of the CV joint. Is completely ripped. So the reason why the joints start making noise is that once the grease escape, the joint becomes dry, and that's the reason why the joint starts making knocking noise. So just gonna remove this 24mm nut. Right, so I've loosened the nut. So what you do is in order to disengage the lower ball joint from the lower suspension arm, you need to hit this area with the hammer. Just gonna remove the nut. There you go. That's the nut fully removed. So with the bar, I'm gonna press the lower suspension arm down, and that's how I'm gonna disengage it. There we go. That's the lower suspension arm disengaged from the hub. Right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the nut back in and just gonna tap it. There we go. So now just gonna remove the nut. There we go, that's the nut completely out. There we go, that's the CV joint fully exposed now, disengaged from the hub. Right, just gonna remove this inner clip first. Just a flathead small screwdriver. Just gonna tap it. There you go. Nice and easy. So that's the small clip, inner clip removed. Right, so this side of the CV boot clip, we're gonna cut it with angle grinder to make our life easy. Right, so the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to cut this CV gator with a Stanley knife. There we go. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to tap this joint out. Okay, there's a excessive play in it, so you're going to use a hammer and turn it a bit. There you go. I'm going to do the same again. Right, so the hitting with hammer didn't work. Right, so we're just going to use this clamp instead to extract the CV joint. We're going to use the same old nut, and the clamp comes in position here like this. The top part. Okay, then the two bolts. Just gonna tighten these bolts now. There we go. That's the clamp fully in. So now that we fitted the clamp, so we're just gonna extract the CV joint off the drive shaft. 36mm socket. Right, so the clamp method failed as well. So we're going to use angle grinder instead. Right, here we go friends, we managed to remove the old CV joint, but what we had to do is we had to break it with a hammer, and then we had to use the angle grinder to cut this inner bit which got stuck onto the drive shaft. Okay, like this. Okay, so we had to cut it to remove it. And here is the broken inner part. Right, so here's our new CV joint. Okay, it came as a kit with grease and all the clips. Here is the ring. So the first thing is first. So the CV joint gator we'll slide in first. There we go. So that's the gator in place. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to fit this locking clip. So the locking clip goes in here. There we go. That's the pin in place. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use a cable tie to squeeze the pin in so that we can slide in the CV joint. Right, so what we are doing is we're gonna squeeze the clip. There. Right, so now we're gonna slide in the CV joint, but before we slide in we're gonna grease it up. There we go. Just gonna spread it evenly. Perfect. So now we're gonna line up the grooves, okay, and we're gonna tap it all the way in with a hammer. We have pushed the CV joint in. Just gonna cut the cable tie. There we go. That's the cable tie out of the way. Right, just gonna pack up the joint with more grease, the leftover. Right, so just gonna slide the gator over like this. There we go. Simple as that. So just gonna clean all the excess grease off the gator edge. Right. So the next thing is we're gonna skewer the inner and outer gator with the clips. There we go. Just gonna slide it over on this side. There you go. So just gonna do another circle. Like this. Now I'm gonna pull it towards us. There we go. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna bend these two pins. There you go, that's nice and tight. Just gonna cut the excess off. Right, just gonna secure the outer CV joint. Gator. There you go. That's nice and tight. Not gonna come off. So just gonna cut the excess strip off here. Right, here we go, friends. That's all nicely done. So just gonna place it back into the hub. There we go. So now we're gonna place in the washer and the nut. There we go. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna secure the lower ball joint to the lower suspension arm. Right, so we're gonna force the suspension arm down. There we go. That's the suspension arm. Lower ball joint is nicely slotted into the lower arm. Right, so next we're gonna place in this 24mm nut. Right, this is a 24mm nut which we are tightening. Just gonna use the breaker bar to do the final torque. That's good enough. Right, so next we're gonna tighten this nut here. Right, so the next we're gonna torque up this hub nut. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lock the disc with the screwdriver like this, and then going to torque it up. That's good enough. Right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put this dust cap on like this. Just gonna fit the new quarter pin. There we go. There we go. Perfect. There we go, friends. Job done. Thank you very much for watching the video.